Hi, this is Rebecca Martinez at ArtsCalifornia.net. Today I have the pleasure of visiting with Gia McNutt and Janet Nicholson, who are both on the steering committee of the Placer Artist Studios Tour. This is this tour of artists in Placer County who live or work in Placer County. And you know more about it than I do, so why don't you go ahead and just jump in.
Okay, well, this is our 29th year, so this is the longest running and largest art studio tour in our region. And one of the things that's different this year is the fact that we're going to have 2 weekends on tour. So the first weekend will be Veterans Day weekend, just as it always has been, and that
in November.
Yes. November 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then there will be an optional encore weekend the following weekend, November 18th, 19th, and 20th. And what that means is that artists who sign up for the tour don't have to do the second weekend. It's an optional thing for them.
And it's been talked about many years, but this is the first year it's actually happened.
Goodness gracious, yes.
The public has asked for it for a long time, and in our survey last year, it was, 85, 90% said 2 weekends. But the 2 artists have always been about 50-50, so we figured this is a good way where they can choose whether they want to be on tour or not. So that was
it is a good idea.
our solution to that.
Yeah, and what we really want to highlight right now is that this is the opportunity, the time frame to get in as an artist, art gallery, or art school on the tour. Through April 30th, you have the opportunity to apply to be a part of this great tour. And we've prepared a little top 10 reasons why you might want to participate in the tour. And one of them we've already said, it's the largest, longest running tour in our region. And that's a good reason right there. Another really good reason is the marketing for the tour is extensive. We have over 1 million views, including print, digital, and social media throughout Placer County and surrounding areas. So the marketing is just extensive. That's the way to say it.
Well, you have a big committee working on the marketing.
We do.
Karen Killebrew is a co-chair, and she's also heading up the marketing, so it's very organized. She has a lot of experience, and we have experience behind us also from the tours in the past.
Yeah. Well, the next thing we've actually already mentioned, so I won't make you repeat it, but 2 weekends to welcome the public into your studio.
Or school.
Or gallery.
Well, part of our original mission, really, along with educating the public and just networking with other artists, is to be able to have a platform to sell your art. And at the beginning, a lot of artists did come out of the woods, who really hadn't tried this. And many artists have created careers from the tour. I know our studio has been on the tour every year. And at the time, we didn't really have any local connections until we began the tour, and now it's a very important part of what we do.
Why don't you remind us what your studio is?
Nicholson Blown Glass, which is now Nicholson Van Altena Glass, with our daughter and her business partner, Alana.
Very successful enterprise.
Yeah, and so it's possible, to really make money on this tour. A number of artists really prepare all year long to have a solid body of work so that they'll be ready to make sales. And the number I have, last year, we have over $258,000 in sales between our, we had 112 artists, I believe.
And 8
we
galleries.
And 8 galleries, and we did have sales also
Taste of the Tour.
At the Taste of the Tour at the Blue Line Arts. We sold, I think it was 17 pieces, wasn't it?
That's right.
That's a premier spot to show your work if you're an artist in Placer County.
Yeah, well, another great reason to be on the tour, besides maybe launching your career, which I can say that's definitely been my experience. Another great reason is you will have increased visibility and awareness and name recognition of you and your art. And you have a chance to build your contact list. Every year, I come away with 100 new contacts or more from the studio tour. And as an artist, that's pretty important.
It is important.
Because then you can follow up. It's not just a weekend or 2 weekend deal. You're building a contact list that will last you throughout the year, and it builds annually. So you're creating your collectors. And
You're
your followers.
following. Yep.
The guide. we have a fabulous guide full of stories and recognizing our sponsors. The guidebook has profiles of each artist with links to all of their social media, website.
What they do. We have a sample of what they do.
Yeah, there's a photo of what you would be doing. There's also a full map where you can follow along.
Throughout the year.
We always have an artist on the cover, one of the tour artists, and that call will be coming up also.
Yes, for the tour, for the cover, the call for the cover art.
Cover art for the guide.
Yes, well, in addition to the tour guide, as Janet was mentioning, which is a beautiful publication, we also have our website, which is really nicely put together now. And each artist will have now not only one image in their profile on the website, they will actually have a gallery of a few images. And their profile will remain up until the next year's tour artists are uploaded. So they basically, and if you participate every year, you get a year-round listing. So that's a good thing. We also have 11 top 10 reasons. The next one, which is not numbered, is
the social.
Actually, you get, yes, we're on all the social media platforms. We do lots of marketing there. We mentioned that earlier, but we also give preparation support for marketing and merchandising your work. We've got mentoring for new artists on the tour from some of the seasoned artists, and we have online workshops. In fact, we have 3 coming up this year, and those who are registered for the tour can attend them at no charge. And the first one is pricing your work, and the second one is how to have a successful art studio tour. I guess that's kind of relevant. And then the last one is on video marketing and giving some tools and tactics on that.
Good. I think those are being presented through Blue
Line Arts, absolutely, and those are available to their members, but also made available to Placer Artist Studio Tour artists, but through our partnership with Blue Line Arts.
So we're enjoying partnering. I think the community has really come out in huge numbers to support the ongoing tour, and we encourage partnering, which we've done with Blue Line Arts, and also with the Auburn Symphony.
And that leads perfectly to that. You get to exhibit your work in the Taste of the Tour preview exhibit at Blue Line Arts, which is the premier visual art gallery in Placer County. And it was very successful last year. As Janet mentioned, we sold 17 pieces. I personally had people come that I didn't know prior to where I was showing last year and say, we saw your piece at Blue Line Arts, and that's why we're here. And
the reception had over 300 people, and we were really making an effort to encourage our sponsors and the public to come in, because that's where they get to see your work and they plan their tour, and the sponsors feel appreciated. So that's really our main focus.
Yeah, and that reception that we hold there is really dynamite. I mean,
it was nice,
beautiful, and the food and everything is fabulous. So you want to be a part of that. All right, number 9.
Well, one of my favorite parts about the tour is really networking with other artists, getting to know other artists within your communities. We've broken into regions this year, and so that makes it even more possible to really interconnect with all the people who live close by. So you get to know their work, you can share with other tour goers, places to go, places to see. We have an orientation right after the closing of the application in May, and that's another really good time to interact and network with artists that you hadn't met before, get some ideas of how to have a successful tour. And in September then we have the potluck, which is another opportunity for networking with other artists and also picking up your signs and guides and postcards and whatever else you need. So it's a wonderful way to come together as a community. And I really think that's one of the strongest points of the tour, is for the artists to bond.
So I think you kind of skimmed by something that might be important for new artists, and that is that the tour fee includes signage for the artists to put out to gather to direct people to their studio.
Right, signs and banners, and also for new artists there will be mentoring opportunities, which is another way to get to know other artists, and experienced people from the tour can help. And
speaking about relationships and networking, we've come up with a a slightly different approach as of last year it's a regional approach.
Mm-hmm.
And in the regional approach, it allows for even greater networking and collaboration amongst these regional artists. And so it's really an opportunity to get to know each other.
Right. I think one of the fun things we've done in the past is have progressive dinners where in the regions with your group you can go to each other's studios and have an hors d'oeuvre or a dinner and that way you really have a fun social event, get to know each other.
And you get to see each other's studios.
You see the studios.
Because you don't get to see it on tour.
No, and then you can share that with the public.
Yeah.
You have to go there because they have this and this and this and this. And
exactly.
I know one year we had, we were at the dessert, and so we had s'mores in front of the glass furnace. And
that's fun.
Very, very fun. So
appropriate.
There's so many opportunities to, creative opportunities that you can come up with as artists, too, to interact.
Yeah, and then kind of along the same lines, but yet a different point is we have a dedicated private Facebook page. It's a group page for artists on the tour. And that's where people can post questions. Maybe they have needs or, need tips. Maybe someone has a show that's coming up and they want to let their fellow artists know about it. That group page, the private Facebook page, is a great forum for the artists on the tour. And people exchange ideas and information there all the time.
Right. So we're grateful to have Gia McNutt as our tour coordinator this year, again. Very experienced. And then Karen Killebrew and I are co-chairs.
The call to artists is open on our website now, which is placerartiststour.org. And everything that you might need is there. When you go, it says apply now, and it basically has all the artist and art school and gallery resources that are required to do the application online, some guidelines for photos, artist statement, artist story, and really a step-by-step how to do the application. There's a checklist as a resource as well.
And the better the photos and the better the story, the more we'll get the word out for you on social media and publicity. Yeah.
And actually, probably of interest to people watching is what is the fee this year?
Yes.
That's an important thing. So for artists, it's $175 with 5 hours of volunteering, or $250 if you don't want to volunteer at all. And for galleries and art schools, it's $350. And I will say that with the extensive marketing campaign that goes on with the tour, it is really an inexpensive way to publicize yourself as an artist.
It's an investment.
Sales. It's an investment.
Very well worthwhile.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. Yeah. I can't. You guys covered it all. I've been on the tour for quite a few years now, and I can't think of anything you didn't cover.
Wow.
So
I'm sure there's something.
I'm sure there's probably something. We'll probably come up with it later.
And in that case, feel free to go to our website and fill out the Contact Us form and ask a question. We are responsive. We will get back to you. placerartiststour.org.
And we'll put a link to that.
Fantastic.
All
right.
Great. I guess that's it. So
thank you.
And apply before April 30th to be a part of the best studio tour in our region.
All right. So thank you. This is Rebecca Martinez signing off. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, you guys. Thumbs up if you like the video, and support us on Patreon. Thanks.